So, welcome to the podcast. My name is Tigo Kort. I work at Nuffic Neso South Africa. Today we're going to talk with Bokang Lemaoana from South Africa as well, and with my colleague Catherine Remaoka. We're just going to ask you some questions: how you are, what are you doing, what are you up now, and just so people in South Africa and the Netherlands have an idea of what the situation is right now. So, yeah. First question, of course, where are you right now? Are you in the Netherlands, in Maastricht, or in another city? How is the situation?
Right now, I'm actually in South Africa right now. I'm final internship, which is a thesis internship. So I've been here since mid-February. I left the Netherlands in mid-February.
Okay. So you're
Yes.
just looking for an internship in South Africa.
Not really looking. I'm already doing one. So this is my third month into the internship now.
Okay. So how would you describe your
Yes.
current situation in South Africa?
The current situation, since we are under lockdown, is a bit tricky for me doing my internship because it's an applied research internship. So I basically have to be in my at my municipality where I'm doing my internship, asking questions, doing my research, collecting data, and all of that. But now it's a bit difficult because now I have to do everything electronically, and it takes almost a month sometimes to get an interview with the relevant person who can help you with the data. So it's really hectic right now. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Even though socially now, everyone is. I think everyone is getting into line now with the fear of the virus spreading around in South Africa. So people are slowly, getting accustomed to being home, and so do I.
Okay. So your life in quarantine is a little bit hectic with the current situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Very, very hectic.
And is the city? How does the city look like?
The city, right now, you find a few people walking around in the street. So you get to wonder whether it hasn't hit them that the virus is real or not, because you just find people wandering around the street. And if you go to the townships, it's even worse because there's no social distancing at all. You find people still socializing, they visit their friends and all of that because there's no presence of security forces that much in the townships. Only now is it beginning to be escalated in our communities.
So how does the media in South Africa deal with the situation?
Well, I must say, I really must commend the media for making sure that we always have up-to-date information. Every day we get to see the Minister of Health giving us updates on the virus, of how many cases we have, how many deaths we have, and all of that. So the media is really playing a big role in keeping us informed about the virus, and so that we don't also spread fake news. So I think that's very important in helping us to not, spread fake news, so that we have up-to-date information that that can keep us informed on a daily basis. And I really must commend the media for that.
Oh, okay. And what is your opinion on the government's position in this right now?
I think it's really taking a huge toll on the economy. But at the end of the day, there are, some things that you have to consider. Either you consider the preservation of life or you consider the economy. A poor performing economy is a result of poor fiscal and monetary policy decisions, whereas life, you can't say you're not preserving life because of the economy, whereas the economy is just a result of decisions. So if our government makes good decisions, then the economy will be stimulated, whereas life, you only have one life. So I really appreciate the stance that our government has taken to choose the preservation of life over the economy, because even tomorrow you can still stimulate the economy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you think it's like for people that work in South Africa right now?
It's very hard, I must say. It's really hard because some of them have been complaining that they've been laid off. Some of them were forced to take annual leave, which is not really allowed, but some employers have taken that stance. So it's really hard for some of them, whereas for some it's a holiday. So some of them just, it's a holiday because they still get paid and they're home. Some of them can't even work from home, so it's really a holiday.
And how do you think students? How would it be for students going to abroad or domestic? What is it like for them?
Domestically, it's a huge challenge because you are dealing with connectivity issues. Some of them are from poor families, which can't even afford to have Wi-Fi at home, which can't afford to have to buy them data bundles. So it's really a problem for them to do e-learning, or do something on Microsoft Teams or Skype or anything like that. So it's really difficult in that sense. So they really depend on contact learning. So distance learning is a challenge for them. Whereas for me, as an international student, I must say my university has had a great response to the virus. Everyone is studying from home. Everybody is writing exams from home. Although I'm not writing exams at this stage of my studies, but I'm still very much in contact with my internship supervisor. So on my side, I must say it's something, for me, it's not that much of an inconvenience except for the data collection process. But for other students in South Africa, I can really imagine how hard it is for them right now.
Yeah. And how are you at home? Do you have enough food, enough drinks?
There is enough food at this moment. There's no need for panicking, because whenever I run out of food, I just take a drive to the store and then buy some supplies. There's no need to panic right now because supermarkets still have stock. So right now, I must say I'm still okay. Okay. I don't know. Maybe in 3 months' time, if this can be extended, I don't know. But for now, I'm okay.
Well, thank you very much for all this great information.
Can I just ask a few questions for Bokang? Like, just remind us what university you're studying from in the Netherlands, and what your degree is currently.
Okay, I'm studying at Breda University of Applied Sciences. It was formerly known as NHTV, Breda University of Applied Sciences. So they decided to drop the NHTV, and I'm doing my 4th year in international logistics engineering.
So you started from first year until now for 4 years there.
For 4 years, yes.
Oh, okay. You did your bachelor's, everything.
Yeah. Yes, it's actually my bachelor's. I'm completing my bachelor's this year.
Oh, that's great. And how was the process in terms of applying and you being approved and moving there to study? How was it? If you could give us like a few information for our South African students who might be interested in doing the same degree as you.
Okay, for me it was quite simple because it was facilitated by my scholarship sponsor. So everything, firstly, it was the scholarship applications. So I went through that. There were a number of, tests that I had to write and, interviews that I had to attend. So afterwards, when the scholarship got approved, it was easier for me than for the sponsors to facilitate the process of applying to university, because they already knew what requirements were needed. So they made sure that everybody who got the scholarship met the admission criteria for the university. So after the scholarship got approved, then the sponsors facilitated the application process. And it was quite simple, I must say, because we did everything online.
Oh, okay, that's great. And where are you currently doing your internship? Which municipality is this?
The city of Ekurhuleni.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually my scholarship sponsor as well.
Oh, the city of Ekurhuleni is your scholarship sponsor. Okay.
Yes.
And earlier on you talked about the university having a good communication with you. So they communicate with you weekly or daily. How is the communication now in terms of not being able to go back after your internship? What is the communication between you and your university?
Currently, we are getting daily updates from the university via email. So they try to keep us updated about the status quo in the Netherlands in as far as the government regulations are concerned. So we always know what the government decides and what the university's response to the regulations. And currently, it's still on schedule. We're still going to submit at the end of May, but I think we have to have our presentations, and the presentations is still undecided whether the presentations will continue or not, and whether they will be hosted online or not. So we're still waiting on whether the government will relieve the measures they are taking in tackling the coronavirus or not. So we'll see about that. But for now, everything is running on schedule.
Oh, okay, great. But your connection was a bit blurry. We didn't understand you earlier. Were you able to get what he said, Tico?
A little bit, but not everything.
Oh,
okay.
But I did say.
Shall I repeat that?
Well, yeah, that would be very nice.
Okay, no problem. I was saying we get daily updates from the university via email. So they keep us up to date on what the government decides and what the university's response to the decisions is. So daily we get those updates. And in as far as my internship is concerned, the internship is still running on schedule. Nothing has been postponed as yet because we can do everything online. So at the end of May, I'm still required to submit my thesis. And in June, we are due to have presentations for our thesis reports. And that we are still unsure about on how the university is going to handle it, whether we're going to have online presentations or they are going to require us to be physically present at the university. But that will depend on the government's decisions as time goes by. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. Yeah, now we did. Yeah. And how is in Breda University, how is it like in terms of the international students? Are there many international students there? And how does it feel like? Do you feel like there's a belonging as a South African student to study in the Netherlands? How can you just say something about that?
Okay. I belong to the international class of my program. So you meet a lot of international students in the class. So it's very diverse, I must say. And the university in general is also quite an international university. And I think they put a lot of focus in attracting international students. And that's quite helpful because, sometimes you find somebody from Zimbabwe who is a neighbor in Africa, and you meet in the Netherlands. So you have that sense of belonging all the time. Even when you go out, you are likely to meet somebody who is an international student in the street. So it's a very international student friendly university, and Breda itself is quite an international student friendly city as well.
That's great. And so when you graduate, what are your plans after your graduation?
Right now, I'm still not sure of how things will go. But I would love to stay in the Netherlands. But I have a contractual obligation to work for 2 years. And then afterwards I'll be, relieved from the contractual obligation. So it will just depend on whether the scholarship provider will allow me to work in the Netherlands for a couple of years first and then come to South Africa, or it will require me to come back to South Africa and then afterwards just be free to spread my wings. But I would really love to stay in the Netherlands.
Great, that's nice. Yeah, so I also studied in the Netherlands myself a few years back, but I opted to come back to South Africa. Yeah, so I was studying in Maastricht. Also it's an international university there. So, but yeah, I wish you all the best of luck with everything, with your internship and your graduation. And just keep us updated. Share with us your pictures when you graduate and how everything you're doing it online because of this coronavirus. We really appreciate it.
Like to ask you, of course, do you have any last words of advice for the students in South Africa or in the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands, my advice would just be just take care of online learning. I know studying from home can be very difficult, but just take advantage of online learning. Make sure that you always have a daily schedule and even a weekly schedule, because that's very important. Otherwise, you'll never get anything done. So at university, when doing physical or contact learning, you always have a timetable, so you know when classes are and you know when you have break. So now it's really up to you to keep up to date with the academic program. Join lectures, make sure you have that schedule daily, and just try to keep fit, because staying at home all day can get quite hectic. So try to keep fit, do a bit of exercises, and drink a lot of water. And in South Africa, my advice to students would really be that, just try to find some support system. In addition, try to find support system. Talk to your friend via WhatsApp. And just make sure that you have people you are talking to regularly, because that support system, it could be a study group via WhatsApp or something like that. That could be very important for students in South Africa at the moment, because things like Skype, Microsoft Teams, most students don't really have them because of connectivity issues. So if they can still communicate with their classmates, that would really be a stepping stone towards them actually doing better in their studies.
Thank you very much. Well, that was very great information, and we'd like to thank you for this information as well. And we look forward to seeing all your pictures from the Netherlands, maybe even, or from South Africa. So, and good luck with your thesis.
Oh, thank you very much.